Not too long ago, one of my subscribers commented about him trying a run where you try to beat Dark Souls with no armor, no rolling, clubs only, and strength only. He dubbed this run the Caveman run. Which then brings us to the question, can you beat Dark Souls with no armor, no rolling, clubs only, and strength only? AKA, can you beat Dark Souls as a caveman? With that said, let's get into the rules for this run. Rule number 1, clubs only. Originally, this run started out being able to use all 4 clubs, but Chad and I decided it would be more interesting to only use the starting club, so I did just that. Rule number 2, no armor or shields. Cavemen have no need for trivial things like that. Rule number 3, strength only. For this run, I can only level strength for damage. Number 4, no rolling. As stated by just some guy who likes shooters, cavemen are too dumb to roll, and if I do roll, I have to use the dark sign to lose all my humanity and souls as punishment. Number 5, level caps. I'll be allowed 5 levels after every boss I beat. Number 6, buffs and embers are locked behind bosses. I must beat the bell gargoyles before I can get power within or the large ember, and I must beat Ornstein and Smo to get the very large ember. Number 7, I can only use charcoal pine resin. I cannot use any other resin or magic to buff my weapon, solely because cavemen like fire and wouldn't use anything else. Number 8, no glitches or mods. Number 9, no summons. And lastly, beat every boss in the game. With that said, let's get this run started. I first start off by naming my character Jeff after the most famous caveman in history. I then proceeded to make the most beautiful specimen you have ever seen. For the class, I of course go with the Deprived due to the fact that you start with a club and no armor. I then picked the Master Key for my gift because cavemen like things that jingle. With all that done, it's time to start our adventure. I wake up in my cell, grab the key, and break out. I then proceed to drop my weird looking stick that seems to be broken. I have standards as a caveman when it comes to my sticks. From here I find, hold up, we need to pause for a second. When I did this run, I did it live. This was my first time ever streaming and I had no clue about OBS settings and just assumed it would be good to go since my recordings were always good. Oh, how horribly wrong I was. Here's a quick look at stream. To be honest, I'm shocked that anyone stayed to watch me. I didn't even realize any of my mistakes until after the stream ended, and that was almost 12 hours long. The worst part was it also messed up the recording to the point that the footage was not usable in some places. I had a very big caveman moment, if I do say so myself. I had beaten 17 bosses by this point, so I did what I had to do. I went back and rebeat all 17 bosses so that I could have footage for this video. So I technically did this run 1.5 times. So I'll be talking about both experiences up to my 17th win. From there, it will just be from the first run. With my mistake out of the way, let's continue this adventure. From here, I find Oscar. He gives me some shiny liquid, which I am happy to take since it's shiny. And with that, it's time to take on the Asylum Demon. There isn't much to say here. With two-handing the club, I deal massive plunging damage on both goes, and just proceed to stay on his derriere, bonking away. After the average 30 seconds of bonking, the Asylum Demon goes down, earning me my first Dark Souls badge. And yes, cavemen like badges too, because they are simply shiny. After successfully bonking the Asylum Demon, I do the walk of shame up the hill to catch a ride from a giant bird. The giant bird drops me off at... what? Wait a minute, where the fuck is the tree? Oh, okay. Seems like FromSoft had their own caveman moment, I see. After slightly feeling better about my fuck up, I make my way to New Londo Ruins and pick up a Firekeeper Soul to upgrade my flask to +1. Unfortunately, on my first run when collecting souls, I ended up rolling and having to use the dark sign, but on my second run, I was much better about this and was able to hit my first level cap of 10. And yes, I should be level 11, but 10 looks better. With that said, I'm ready to take on the next boss, the Taurus Demon. For the Taurus Demon, I was level 10 for both runs when taking him on. Even without being able to roll, just do the normal cheese tactic of plunge attack. And after 3 bonks to the head, the Taurus Demon goes down. With the Taurus Demon being bonked out, I pay Solaire a visit and proceed to woo him with my Ungas and Bungas. After giving Solaire a little show, I proceed to use the Master Key to find Andre. On my second run, I was doing a lot better and had extra souls to upgrade my club to +3. Unfortunately, on the first run, I didn't do this until a bit later. From here, I grab another Firekeeper soul. I then proceed to make my way to Firelink Shrine and show the Firekeeper how grateful I am for her upgrading my Estus to +2. At this point, I would normally take on the Bell Gargoyles, but chat wanted to mix things up, so we went for the Stray Demon instead. Before doing that though, I make my way to the lower Undead Burg to buy Charcoal Pine Resin to help speed up the next boss fight. In my first run, I was too scared to do the skip to the lower Undead Burg, thinking I would roll from the jump, and I paid the price for it dearly. I died a lot down here, but I did learn from chat that you can make the enemies run into the fire, so that's cool. For my second run, I was more brave and went for the jump, and look at that, I didn't roll. All that suffering for nothing. From here, I find the merchant and buy as many charcoal pine resins as I can, and with that, it's time to take on the Stray Demon. For this fight, I was level 13 with a base club for run 1. And for run 2, I was level 15 with a +3 club. For run 1, I was doing about 65 heavy damage with charcoal pine resin and 133 for run 2. As you can see, I had a bit of an easier time in run 2, but either way, I was able to get the job done. So what I did was simply circle the Stray Demon while bonking its ass, and after bonking for 16 minutes and 10 seconds in run 1, and for 6 minutes and 4 seconds in run 2, the Stray Demon goes down more satisfied than the Asylum Demon's measly 30 seconds. With that done, I made my way back to Andre to upgrade my club to +5 on both runs. I then proceed to rescue Lotric to murder him for his shiny ring. After becoming the first caveman to commit theft and murder, it's time to take on the Bell Gargoyles. For this fight, I was level 19 for run 1 and level 20 for run 2, and I bullied the living shit out of the Bell Gargoyles. I completely forgot about the resin in run 1 and still decimated them. So while I bully them, let's talk about the starting club. The starting club has a base damage of 87 with an A scaling in strength, which is just insane. The only two other starting weapons that do more damage with strength would be the battle axe and the mace. A giant piece of wood is literally better than either of the starting sword options, which is just comical. But with that said, I was easily able to take down the gargoyles with no problem, earning me my second Dark Souls badge. With the gargoyles no more, I make my way to Blighttown to take on Chaos Witch Quelaag. For this fight, I was level 19 for run 1 for some weird reason, and level 25 for run 2. Unfortunately for this fight, run 1's footage was too bad to use. I did die 2 times on run 1, but on run 2, I was able to first try her. For this fight, it's weirdly the same even without being able to roll. All I needed to do was stick into her armpits for her sword attack, and wait for her spider to throw up lava to get some bonks in. Also, after a while, Quelaag just couldn't handle looking at my bare ass anymore and had to turn away, blushing and giggling like a little schoolgirl. The secret weapon to beating Quelaag is just letting your fine ass hang out. And with that, I was able to give Quelaag the bonking of a lifetime to earn my third Dark Souls badge. After Quelaag's quick climax, I obtain Power Within and another Firekeeper soul. With that done, I finally make my way to take on the Capra Demon. For run 1, I was level 25, and run 2, I was level 30. For run 1, my luck was not so great. I ended up dying 5 times before I was able to win. But on my second run, I had all the luck in the world. God must have been looking down on me, giving me all the blessings to make sure the ass stayed safe. Because I have no idea how I survived this. With God blessing my ass, I was able to cheese plunge the Capra Demon to death to earn me the Depths Key. Thank you, God. After showing the Capra Demon my club was bigger than his, I head down to the depths to get the very large Ember and to save Laurentius. Sorry, buddy, but I can't roll, so you're just going to have to take a punch to the gut. After solidifying my everlasting friendship with Laurentius, it's time to take on the Gaping Dragon. For the Gaping Dragon, I was level 27 in run 1, and level 33 in run 2. Nothing new for this fight, I just do the usual cheese tactic where you make him repeat his head slam attack over and over. Now I did do some tests in run 2 to find the best distance for this, and it's a medium distance. In my past videos I have stated medium to far distance, but medium is the best way to go to get easy hits in. After bonking for 3 minutes and 37 seconds in run 1 and 2 minutes and 26 seconds in run 2, the Gaping Dragon goes down. With the Gaping Dragon loosened up, I make my way back to Firelink Shrine to get the Pyromancy Flame from Laurentius. And for his generosity, I give him a little reward. After shaking my ass, it's time to take on Moonlight Butterfly. Moonlight Butterfly wasn't too difficult from how you would usually fight her, I just had to use the edges of the bridge to block some of her attacks. But after she comes down, I easily Caveman Rage at her for taking too damn long to come down. So at this point, I made a small hiccup. I was supposed to go to the Catacombs at this point in my second run, but I forgot about Pinwheel as a whole and just went to the Iron Golem instead. Whoops. For the Iron Golem fight, I was level 33 with a +6 club for run 1, and level 39 with a +9 club for run 2. As you can tell, I did a lot better the second time around. Either way, the Iron Golem was super easy. I just run under his legs and bonk away, and with that, I earned my 4th Dark Souls badge. With the Iron Golem out of the way, it's time to make my way through Anor Londo. I honestly thought getting past the Silver Knights on the balcony would be a bit harder since I can't roll, but it wasn't that bad, funny enough. Once inside, I made my way to the Giant Blacksmith and finished upgrading my weapon to +10. And with that, it's time to take on Ornstein and Smo. Now, up until this point, you might be thinking, Akane, this challenge run is way too easy. Oh, don't worry your little cutie patootie, because from here on out, it became utter hell. But first, we need to talk about the first level of hell, Ornstein and Smo. I knew this was going to be the first big hurdle, but I was not expecting it to give me as much trouble as it did. Due to Ornstein's unpredictable AI of hopping away, it was very hard to get hits in, and on top of that, most of his attacks are supposed to be avoided by rolling, and without being able to roll made it a bit difficult. Also, having low health led to Smo one-shotting me from time to time. This fight is really rough without being able to roll, since you can tell mechanically FromSoft wanted you to roll to dodge most of their attacks. This will become even more prominent in the DLC section, just you wait. For my first run, I ended up trying to take out Ornstein first because that's what I normally do, but found it wasn't going so well, so I switched it up and tried killing Smo first. It was going well until Ornstein's second phase. I had never fought Ornstein's second phase before, and it did not go so well to say the least. After a while, I could easily kill Smo, but Ornstein would always fuck me up in the second phase. I ended up learning a very valuable lesson. Smo is easy in the first phase and the second phase. Ornstein is just plain hard no matter which phase he's in. I ended up dying a total of 77 times, and 5 of those were from me accidentally rolling. The most heartbreaking one was when I finally got to Smo's second phase for the second time. I had pressed the skip button to skip the cutscene, but as you can see, I just rolled. If we rewind back, you can see I just got hit, so I started to press the circle button to run away, but saw the cutscene, so I took my thumb off to press the start button. The game remembered the last input being the circle button, so when the scene ended, I ended up rolling. I was very frustrated at FromSoft in this moment. The only other time I got pissed about a roll was when I was fighting Ornstein's second phase and was trying to lock onto him and found out the hard way when you are locked onto an enemy and press the circle button, you will immediately roll. I just keep finding new reasons to hate FromSoft's lock-on system. For this fight, I was level 43 for my first run and level 44 for my second run. I eventually learned after 3.5 hours I needed to kill Ornstein first. And funny enough, on my second try back at it, I was easily able to kill Ornstein in the first phase. This time, I wasn't going to let myself fuck up. I knew Smo's patterns and made sure to execute each of my attacks precisely with determination and precision. And with that, I was finally able to take down Smo without getting hit. Now, how did it go for run 2? It only took me 7 tries. That's a 91% increase in improvement of performance. Just shows you get better after learning from all those mistakes. And on that note, I gladly earned my 5th Dark Souls badge. After clawing my way out of hell, Chad and I got to sit back and relax and watch some titties jiggle. Fucking worth it if I say so myself. I also showed Guinevere my ass. Once I was done showing off my ass, I headed to New Londo Ruins and acquired the very large Ember. And with that, I figured it was time to take care of another ass I know. Gwendolyn was Gwendolyn. I ran for a bit, hid behind a post, and balked him to death. Nothing new here. After putting Gwendolyn in timeout, I proceed to put his waifu, or should I say Lemon's waifu, as chat informed me, into timeout. Sorry Lemon, but she started it. With Lemon's waifu no more, I proceed to the painted world of Ariamis. From here, I juke my way around and use the bridge skip to take on Priscilla. Priscilla really wasn't that bad at all. Both runs, it only took 1 heavy attack and 4 light attacks to take her down. It was a very sad and happy bonk that I wish just went for a little bit longer. Huh? Is this not what y'all wanted? Okay, fine. I'll get on with the story. But don't say I didn't try and do anything nice for y'all now. After disappointing myself and Priscilla, I meet with another disappointment, Pinwheel. On both runs, Pinwheel got a good hit on me that could have easily led to my death. But as usual, Pinwheel can never finish the job, and with that, I earn the right of kindling. With Pinwheel's lackluster performance over with, I make my way to the Demon Ruins to meet once again another disappointment, Ceaseless Discharge. I proceed to take his sister's clothes because the smell is very nice and Caveman can't help but want to smell nice things. Which then leads Ceaseless to try and bonk me with his big stick, but we all know here who has the bigger stick. So after a quick sword fight with our sticks, Ceaseless goes down, earning me the title Big Stick Jeff. After being recognized for my big stick, it was time to show it off to the Fire Sage. To be honest with y'all, the Fire Sage and the Stray Demon are no different than Pinwheel to me at this point. With that said, I will give them the recognition they deserve. Centipede Demon time. I thought the Centipede Demon was going to be rough due to not having armor, low health, and not being able to roll, but he wasn't that bad. I was easily able to dodge his attacks and was able to cut off his arm for the orange charred ring. I then accidentally cut off his tail, which scared the living shit out of me because I had no clue it comes alive when it gets cut off, and this ended up causing me to die on my first run. Unfortunately though, the footage is too corrupt to show me being killed. But seriously, I have over 300 hours in this game. When am I going to stop learning new things about this one boss? Besides that, the boss didn't give me any trouble. He easily went down after a few bonks to the legs. With the Centipede Demon put down, that just leaves the Bed of Chaos. So I had no issues destroying the first barrier, but the second barrier was a whole nother story. Due to not being able to roll and not having armor, I got killed a lot trying to get to this one spot. For a while, I wasn't too sure how I was going to make it. It wasn't until I got super lucky on one of my goes and somehow made it through. It wasn't until my second run that I understood why I made it. You see, when the Bed of Chaos slams her hand down, if you run right past it afterwards, she will proceed again to slam her hand back down, thinking she can hit you. But you actually have enough time to run completely past it without getting hit, which then leaves you with enough time to make it to the second barrier without having to roll, and after that, the fight is the exact same. You just do the normal walk off to the root to bonk the little shit, and that's how you beat the Bed of Chaos without rolling, earning me my 6th Dark Souls badge. From here, my second run ends. Could I have kept going? Yes. Did I want to? No. And you will understand why in not too long. With the Bed of Chaos defeated, it was time to pay Seath a little visit. I cheesed both of Seath's boars with invisible walls and showed Seath's crystal bodyguard why having no armor is the best armor. From here, I let Seath kill me, but I make sure to wait until he does his instant kill attack. I do this so I don't get accidentally cursed. After waking up in jail, I bonked the guard so well, he decided to give me the keys to the cell. And with that, it's time to take on Seath the Scaleless. Once again, a damn clam got in and caused me to die. But the worst part is, I got cursed. All that effort to not get cursed earlier went to waste. So I said, fuck it, I'm going back in, I don't give a fuck about being cursed anymore. For this fight, I was level 60 with a plus 13 club. So I used my recently new strategy to take him out. Let him get close, break the crystal, get 2 heavy hits on his belly because it does more damage, and finally kite him in a circle smacking at his tentacles. And with that, I was easily able to earn my 7th Dark Souls badge. Also, you might have noticed by now the PlayStation buttons and the Xbox buttons. Unfortunately, at the end of the Seath fight, my PS4 controller had enough, and I had to switch to my wired Xbox controller. I just wanted to clear that up. After showing Seath that strength is more important than intelligence, I make my way to the Tomb of Giants to pick up an old friend of mine. With Scully in hand, nothing can stop me now. Let's just ignore that little hiccup right there. At this moment, I knew it was best to have a divine weapon to make my life easier. So to do this, I was just going to farm souls to buy green Titanite shards, but while farming, 2 things happened. 1, I committed a cardinal sin of not saying hello back to Scotty T. I am so sorry, Scott. I really need to do a better job of reading chat. And the second thing is, Ryan had the big brain call on going to grab the occult club and downgrading it to a divine club. So I did just that. I went to Anne Orlando, went through the fireplace, and stole an occult club out of the mouth of a mimic. While here, I let Scully visit his wife.
Hello, my dear. How are you doing this fine-ass day?
Scully, Jeff put his ass in my face.
What?
Oh no.
You said you were only showing your ass to me.
Oh dear God. After that uncomfortable love triangle, I make my way back to Andre and downgrade the occult club to a plus 5 divine weapon. And with that, it's officially time to take on Gravelord Nito. For this fight, I was level 62, had a plus 13 club and a plus 5 divine club. My plan was simple, smack the skeletons with God's divine bonk, and then give Nito a bonking he'll never forget with my 13 inches of club, I mean 13 plus club. After taking that pounding from both sides, Nito goes down, earning me my 8th Dark Souls badge. Now that I have 8 badges, I can take on the Elite 4, but first, I need to pass Victory Road. So I take out a Hydra, put a gold crystal dude in his place, and once again kill someone for something shiny. Unfortunately, someone else wanted my shiny, but I will not let him have it. With that said, it's time to take on the Sanctuary Guardian. Chat was a bit worried for this one, but after beating this fight with the Skull Lantern, I knew it wouldn't be too bad. For this fight, I was level 65 with a 13 plus club. So the funny thing about the Sanctuary Guardian is you can dodge a good chunk of his attacks by just running away. Really the only attacks that are scary is his dive bomb attack and his lightning ball attack, since his lock on for both of them are just insane. Now the trick to beating him without rolling is to stay relatively close to him to bait out his air slam attack. When he does this attack, you'll have plenty of time to get a hit or 2 in, and with being next to him, you are very likely for him to repeat this move again. And after 3 heavy attacks and 1 light attack, he goes down, earning me my first Elite 4 victory. With the Guardian defeated, I figured it was time to finish up upgrading my club to plus 15, and with that, I'm ready to take on Artorias the Abyss Walker. Oh dear God, where do I begin? So the Artorias fight is hard to say the least. Why is it hard, you say? Well, due to FromSoft wanting you to dodge roll to avoid pretty much all of his attacks, leads to you dying a lot when you can't roll. Especially if Artorias decides to retaliate. If he decides to do this, there's nothing I can do. I pretty much have to take the hit, but the worst part is his retaliation is RNG. You do not know when he will do it. Sometimes I would think I have his pattern down, and then out of nowhere, I get smacked. But the move that was the most annoying was his small jump attack. It is possible to dodge it while running, but it's so precise I fucked it up 99% of the time. Really, the only time I found I could get hits in was when he did his big jump attack, his circle forward attack, and his lunge attack, even though dodging it at times felt impossible. Even with knowing all of this, my luck would just run out at times. I would die for being too greedy, and die for not being greedy enough. This went on for a while, 4 hours and 40 minutes to be exact, and this is not including me grinding for levels, this is just me trying the fight. I'm pretty sure Chester got tired of seeing me run by. From here, I kept beating my head against the wall that is called Artorias. But the more I passed by Chester, his words of encouragement started to slowly change to words of persuasion, bidding with me to try a bigger club or something else. But I said bunga to that and went on my way. Then when all hope was starting to be lost, something happened. Something no one expected. Let's go! Woo! I am happy to say I'll never be doing that again. But we still have 2 more pain in the asses to go, Calamite and Manus. I first tried Calamite, but it didn't go so well. So I then made my way to Manus, and that also didn't go so well. They both could easily one-shot me at this point, even being at level 76. So after a few hours of trying, I decided it was time to hit my next level cap of 120. Chat then advised me that the Painted World of Ariamis is the best late game grinding spot to get easy levels. Now you might be thinking, Akane, you can only level strength to 99, and you would be right. For this compromise, I put points into attunement since this stat does nothing. I'm simply doing this to increase my defense stat so I can survive a single hit and give me a chance to actually fight the boss. But with that said, I finished leveling up and made my way to Manus to show him how big my stick really is. Before taking on Manus, Pyrus from chat informed me that humanity increases your defense stat. I had no clue that humanity did this, so to increase my odds of survival, I also gained humanity to 99. Just to show a quick example of this, this is me at 0 humanity, and me at 99 humanity. As you can tell, that's 33 more defense, and this does not include me adding the Ring of Steel and Protection that Ryan once again came in clutch with that suggestion. This gave me a total defense of 221, way better than 138, and with that, I was ready for Manus. Manus was a hard fight, almost as bad as Artorias, but I eventually found out what attacks I needed to look out for to beat him. From his base moveset, I needed him to do his Palm Slam attack, his lunge attack, his jump attack, and lastly, his horizontal arm attack. Unfortunately, it's still very easy to get hit by these attacks. For his second phase, the best time to attack was when he did his Magic Circle attack. When he does this, you can charge him and get 2 hits in since it takes him a while to recover. But if you haven't noticed yet by now, to beat the DLC bosses, you need good RNG, and when I mean good, like really good. So even knowing all of this, I still died a lot. But I was too close to victory to give up, and after 78 deaths, I was finally able to get the RNG I needed to finally beat Manus and earn my 3rd Elite 4 badge. With Manus finally defeated, that only leaves Calamite. Funny enough, I did struggle with him at first, but it only took a few tries after beating Manus to get some amazing RNG to easily take him out, and I have no complaints there. I will gladly take an easy W. And with that, I have defeated the Elite 4. With the Elite 4 defeated, that just leaves me with Sif, the 4 Kings, and Gwen. Sif unfortunately didn't put up too much of a fight and easily went down after a few well-timed bonks. The 4 Kings weren't bad at all. They did get me a few times, but I knew it wasn't impossible. I was level 78 for this fight, and yes, I did this fight before Manus and Calamite, but for writing purposes, I decided to talk about it after. The 4 Kings had the potential to one-shot me from time to time, which they gladly did, but after a few runs, I got the hang of them and was easily able to beat them, earning me my 9th Dark Souls badge. With the 4 kings defeated, I offer up the Lord's Soul to finish this hellish but fun run once and for all. I think y'all know how Gwen went. Yeah, let's just say I got a bit cocky at the end with chat, and Gwen put me in my place, but after deciding to pay attention, Gwen went down, earning me my final badge. Man, this run went from easy to extremely hard in the blink of an eye, but I was super glad I streamed it. It made the experience a lot more fun, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who stopped by during the stream to show their support. I really appreciated it. Speaking of appreciation, I would like to thank all my channel supporters. Scott T, looks like you gained a good amount of friends since the last video. If you too would like your name in the video or would like to support the channel, you can click the Patreon link down below or click the join button. With that said, I would like to thank you all for watching. It does mean a lot to me that someone would watch what I make. Until next time, take care.